Please, tonight, I think most times when you are a perfectionist, apologies, please. Most times when you are a perfectionist, oftentimes when you are a perfectionist, you would actually get disrupted with when things are not going the way they should go. And I want to say my sincere apologies for the for tonight's situation. Please kindly join us again, please kindly join us again. So I said, so if in a situation where a man is, is a man talks about finance, from what lens does the man see this from? From what lens does the man see finance from? What is a man's understanding when it comes to finance? What is a man seeing when he talks about finance? What is he seeing when he says, okay, my finance, what is he seeing? What is he expecting his wife to see? What is he expecting his children to see? What is his what are his expectations when it comes to finance? Not just towards himself, but even towards his wife. Apologies for this. This night is so not. I'm so not happy with it. Well, one of those things. One of those things. Um. QS. This is not nice. Good evening.
Good evening. Can you see me?
Yeah, don't worry. Don't bother about the thing. It's Facebook thing. I can see you from another device, and let me just confirm. Yeah, we're here. You may not be able to see me, but everyone watching is seeing you. Good evening. Oh, you left. Okay. He will join us back. So, from the lens of a man, what is finance? We have, before we went off line, I had to kind of cut that this because of the 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 this thing I said in that. So I just had to like turn it off. Please join us again, oh QS. Please join us again. So how does a man see finance? For you to know how tense any discourse on finance can be, look at what is happening this time. When it comes to talking about finance, it can be so tense. It can really be so tense. I'm sincerely sorry. So, from what lens would a man be seeing finance? From what lens? How do when a man is talking about finance, what is he saying? What are his silent tears? What are his expectations towards his spouse? Why is it that a lot of a lot of men in our society, especially in our African society, would rather work, would rather live in that expectation of carrying or being the sole carrier, let me put it that way, of financial responsibility for the home. Welcome back, QS.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Welcome back.
Good evening, everyone, and sorry for the delay in joining.
It's
Actually,
fine.
I I did a surgery yesterday evening,
Oh,
and
sorry.
I when I came back from wherever, I took some meds, so I just got knocked out. So I just had to. So that was the reason for my absence. earlier. So sorry for the delay. So I
Apology
think
accepted, sir. Thank you so much. We just want to say, oh, thank you for doing this. That's a huge one. That's a huge one in the sense that thank you for this sacrifice, even though you are not that you're not feeling well. You are doing this for us. We are so sorry. We promise that we will not take much of your time.
it's fine.
Yeah, thank you so much. So please let's know you. Let's know you. Let's know you. Please.
Okay,
Yeah.
my name is QS John Adekunle Adezin. As you can see, I'm a quantity surveyor by profession. Um, I'm a public speaker, and I'm presently the Public Relations Secretary of the Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyors Lagos chapter. I work with Elaland Construction Company, and I'm also the CEO of Jeda Consults Limited, a consultancy firm. So I'm married with 2 kids, and a wife.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for that short, brief introduction. Now, I actually asked that you actually introduce yourself so that everyone, because I've had people telling me, "Oh, how are you calling this young person to come and talk on finance? What does it?" And I said, "He's married with a teenage daughter, so he's not young in the per se as we're talking about marriage and
My daughter
finance."
will be entering into university by next year, by God's grace.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to ask question about what it is like marrying as starting married life as a young person. But before I go into that particular question, I want to ask. To this night we're actually here discussing on the topic financial balance. When it comes to finance in marriage. Please, can you share your perspective? Let me ask a question. What lens do you, as a man, read finance from?
Okay, for me, I don't know about all men, but for me, I have this mentality that a man should uh, understand his place when it comes to finance. A man should understand that he's meant to provide for the family. I believe a man should should be responsible for the basic things in the house, from the rent, from the school fees of the children, the upkeep, bills generally. I believe a man should see that as his own burden to carry. I don't believe a man should be concerned about his wife when it comes to the finances. However, it boils down to the foundation, boils down to the discussions you had before marriage, what your finances were or at particular points, both of you, what you have both agreed. But whatever the situation may be, I believe a man should, he has no business depending on seeing his wife's money as maybe part of whatever it is. However, the woman should should be someone that the man can rely on, not depend on. They are two
Mm,
different things. Relying on somebody means that there may be times when things might not be the way it's supposed to be. There may be times when some things happen, these things happen, you understand?
yeah.
The woman should be somebody that you can rely on, and her husband, okay, should be able to step in. So it's different from when a man depends. It means that you are interested in whatever it is your wife has. You you are seeing whatever she has as part of taking care of the major things, the major bills that you should be taking care of as a man. So from my own perspective, personally, I feel a man should be responsible for the home.
Thank you so much, sir. You noted that a man should be responsible for the home. um, is this not a responsibility that society has placed on him? Is this, or it's from a place of, or a sense of himself wanting to do it? Because I feel that this is something that society has placed on him. Because our men come into this, oh, they are told, oh, you are the father of the house, you are the head of the home, so you are responsible for everything that the home needs. And gradually women, walked into, being comfortable with the man carrying it. And then this kind of satisfies the man's ego and also macho-ness. But are there no ways that this can be done different? But hold it there, sir. Let me ask you another question. Now, when it comes to finance, how would you define it? Let me just say, how would you define finance now? How would you define finance as a person? How would you define finance? Not as is not as in finance in the home. Now I'm talking about how do you, because when they said if something is not, if you don't understand what a thing is, then there's every tendency to not be clear about it. So, but to you, what is finance?
Finance is all about your income. It's basically about your income. What you bring in at the end of the day to the house financially, your income, what comes in, the amount that comes in every month or every period, and all that. That's your income. That's finance is your income. What it is that you bring home at the end of the day. That's what I believe is finance.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for that clarity. Now, this night we're going to be mixing questions that we've known before and questions that we don't know about, or we have not heard from a man, talk about. But I want to ask one other question. Please, for our audience, kindly drop your questions, and I promise to read it out for our guests tonight. And tonight we are talking about financial balance in a marriage relationship, a man's perspective. We're definitely going to bring a woman here, and you know that our women will be they will be on fire. So, when it comes to autonomy as regarding autonomy and control of finance in the home, how easy is it to maintain financial independence without causing conflicts in a marriage relationship?
Okay. For me, most of the things my answers will be based on personal experience, not
Yes, sir,
textbook,
that's okay.
and other personal experience, or some of the things I've seen work at different times. With
Mm.
other people too and all that. So at the end of the day, um, like I said earlier, it boils down to what the agreements are. One size does not fit all. It boils down to what the agreement are with both partners. You understand? But
Yes.
for me, as a man, there's this flex that comes in when you, you up your game in terms of ensuring that you do everything possible, you understand, to be
Yeah.
financially uh, independent of whatever it is your wife brings in.
Mm. Mm.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because for me, for personal experience, it has really helped me a lot in terms of
Mm.
how I hustle. You get, like,
Mhm.
making sure that in this home, I'm not going to stay at one level. I'm going to up my game. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to ensure that if my wife is contributing to anything, it will be out of our own, what's it called? Out of our own initiative, without being
Mm.
forced, without being coerced. You understand?
Mm.
I'm sure
Yeah.
any good woman that sees that this man is doing his bits. You understand? Would
Mhm.
always support. You understand? Like,
Mhm.
for example, you, as a man, you pay the school fees, you do all those things, and then when it's time for them to enter into a new session, like having to buy bags, having to buy shoes and all that, without even saying anything, woman understands that. I'm talking from my own personal experience, like I said. I was like,
Yes, sir.
this man has done this, has done that. Me too. Let me do this without being asked.
Mm.
You understand? You
Yeah.
step in and ensure that okay, the children are their school uniforms, their school bags, and all that is being taken care of. And at times, there might be even food in the house. You have a budget that every month, of course, God helping you, it is you give you understand whatever it is you have, and you have a particular amount. It's about you choosing a particular amount and say, you know what, this month, this every month, this is how much I'm going to be dropping. Of course, that's to be reasonable with current market trends. You understand? But
Yes.
there's no amount of money, of course, you give that will be enough in this country right now. But the woman naturally knows that she has to do whatever she needs to do. But in all of this, what actually helps is when you are transparent with your earnings from the onset. It helps a lot. So, in terms of over expectations, when you know that I'm earning 100 naira, of course, maybe the no extra enters from one source or the other, but this is my normal amount and all that. And with that amount, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, this is what I would naturally be saving and all that. So it all depends on every family has their own model that works for them. But I believe that as a man, it's just the world is just, well, would I say, rigged against you or society. Like, you just have to do what you have to do to ensure that in that house, so you are the big fish. Do whatever I need to do. Though there are situations where the woman, it's possible that the woman can even earn higher. That's not my experience though, but that's where the woman can even earn higher. But regardless of whatever the woman earns, you see that your role, you must play it judiciously and do your part. So that's it.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so, so much. Um, you know, okay, Olabisi Rachel says, sir, how can you explain a man that sits back and watch his wife take full responsibility of the home? Say, how can you explain it? What is
See,
going on? What is really actually going on in such a situation? Olabisi Rachel wants to know.
okay, when you say a man sits back, I know it can be relative. Do you
Hmm.
understand?
Yeah.
There are some men, there are things that they are focusing on. That if it's not this, they can't do any other thing. They're actually working on something. There's a situation like that, and it looks like the person is sitting back. I've seen situations like that. However, um, you must not be comfortable. Women are not made. It is not a woman's nature by God's making, not a woman's nature to see that kind of power to her. You understand? Because
Yeah.
you would lose your headship. It takes what's it called? It takes a very, very, very special kind of woman, very, very special and very rare, for you to be in the situation where you are doing what the role of a man is, while the man is playing the role of the wife. Because the truth is, you cannot see your role. You cannot see your role. So as a man, you cannot be laid back while you watch your wife take care of the home, and you sit back without doing anything. It's for not use of a better word, it's a crazy thing to allow. It's a crazy thing to do. I don't want to call all men that do that as being ridiculous, because I know the situation is relative and all that, but you can't be comfortable. You're not a good man when you sit back and allow your wife. However, it depends on the agreement between the two. It depends on. It all depends on. For example, there are situations where the kind of work the woman is doing, even you as a man, you can say, ah, Omo, you can't leave that job. Also, you understand? There are some whatever, but there are places that you can you must feel in that. Now, if you are comfortable with it, or me as a man, me, I'm not comfortable. Oh. But as a trainer, you have to feel in. Why when the job is so demanding and it's highly paying. For example, jobs where the woman you have opportunity of traveling with the family, locating to a very beautiful country, and all that. And at the end of the day, whatever it is you are getting here is not even up to one quarter of whatever it is. So you have to make that sacrifice for the family as a man. I've seen situations like that. But me, I don't know if I'm comfortable with that though, as a man, because I have my personal ego and all that. So which can be bruised when I don't know what it is like to be in that situation. But all I know is that any man that is doing that, yeah, if your wife is comfortable with it, yeah, then you should be very, you should watch your back. You should watch your back because gradually you are losing your headship, and gradually it's a matter of time before every woman always looks up to a man that is higher than her. It's natural. So if you don't
Hello, sir. We can't hear you, sir. Hello.
regardless of the situation.
Okay, sir. We did not hear the last sentence you made.
I said these are not situations that you should allow to linger for long. If at
Thank
all
you,
you find
sir.
yourself.
Thank you so much, sir. Um, please, so let's go ahead. Let's drop our questions now. Okay, sir. I really love the perspective you have shared, but I want to draw out a question from what you said. You said in a situation where the woman is earning, and the man had to come and balance, and because they had to take care of the kids and all that. And I have seen that it is not maybe maybe because a woman is not really cut out to go through some stress. You find out that the woman soon begins to be tired. It's not all women, but some women will actually begin to get tired and get bored. And so, but now the question I want to ask is this. You mentioned that you cannot do it, but how convenient is it for a man to accept to take care of the home while the wife works? Like be a house husband. I'm not saying that I don't say anything wrong in it though. If, like you said, if there's a mutual agreement, I don't see anything wrong in it. But I, for one, believe that taking care of the home is relative, because if the children are going to school, there are many mediums of earning. The man should not just stay put. Just like also when it comes to the woman who is quote and unquote a housewife, there should be measure through which each of them can be earning. And the areas that they don't need to be the ones doing the house chores and everything can be covered by assisted help. Now, my next question is this. I don't know if does anyone have any question? Okay, I will go to my next question. Thank you so much. I do appreciate your contribution thus far. So my next question is this. I'm trying to pick the questions that I have here. Now, when red flags, how do I differentiate healthy guidance from controlling behavior? How do I how do you as a man differentiate between a healthy, balance and then or controlling behavior? I feel that sometimes some men can there are some men that are that could be very lazy, or they are not hustlers, and they find themselves they find it comfortable for the woman to be the one earning, and will give such an excuse. And then before you know it, they start complaining, oh, she doesn't respect me, she doesn't do this, she doesn't do that. So how do a man find, that balance? That balance, and between, differentiating between healthy guidance from controlling behavior. As because where he's not using that behavior to manipulate that financial situation, to manipulate the finances of the home.
Okay. To be to be straightforward and blunt with you,
Mm.
it all boils down from the foundation. And this is what I tell every woman: don't overplay your role in the life of the man. Don't overplay your role in the life of the man. That if from courtship to marriage, a man that you always try to step in for his responsibilities. From beginning, you are always okay. I don't want my husband to whatever start doing things that a man should be doing in the house. The moment which is not your nature, which is not what God has made you for. You understand? The
Yes,
moment
sir.
you get tired of doing those things, or you start feeling overburdened, a man will naturally resent you. A man would naturally resent you, and that is where the foundation of in PG we call it katakata. That is where it starts from. And trust me, once a man gets used to you, so it looks like when my wife loves me, she's always whatever, whatever. Trust me, it's a matter of time. And once anything like you stop whatever it is. Some men are very stupid for use of not a better language. Like they get so comfortable with it, and before you know it, my wife will do it. My wife. I remember a friend I was talking to the other day, and she opened up to me about her home dynamics. You know, where whenever the children go to meet the man for something, it directs them to their mom, and at the end of the day, the children don't even bother to go and meet him anymore. They know that they have to go and meet their mom. Or when it's time for him to even do things that he cannot even run from, before you know what's happening, starts um, he starts looking for excuses. For example, the school that the child is supposed to go to, or whatever fee is supposed to pay. Before you know, this school, why don't you try another school? Why don't you, ah, you know? So there are things that as a woman don't even step in. I'll give you a very personal thing that happened for me, and that helped shape me a lot as a person. I remember when some very long years ago, when um, we moved homes, and as at that time, the finances were not all that. In fact, I just started, getting a consistent money at that time. So, and it was really nothing much. So somehow we managed to move to that house at that particular time. And most of the contribution to moving to that house then was that of my wife.
Mm.
And at the end of the day, like before we moved, I'm like, this thing, are you sure we can afford it? I'm like, why not now? Maybe you have started working now very well, and at least by the time we combine whatever efforts, we're able to sort the rent and all that. Okay, no problem. I was excited. So at the end of the day, before you know, 1 year expired. Wanted to pay rent. I brought like 80% of the rent. She completed the 20% of the rent. I'm like, fantastic partnership. That's good. On the next rent, when it was time, I already got comfortable with that model. Not like I was, well, it's not something like I had a choice with, because of course the finances was not that much, but it was an arrangement that, of course, made it a bit easier. Even the rent was not easy at that time. So at the end of the day, when it was time, next thing she told me was, "Me, Logo, I don't have money.
mm,
I don't know. I don't know what to do. I cannot." I'm like, but we agreed that we're going. There's nothing I can do, and I was dumbfounded. By God's grace, I somehow managed. I got the full rent and I paid. As at that time, it looked like this woman is heartless. She knows
mm,
how much I earn. She knows this. This was not what we talked about before we moved. I would have stayed where we
mm.
were. This, that, you know.
Yeah.
But trust me, that was a defining moment. After that time, I don't even doesn't even have any. Doesn't even I don't even discuss such things with her. I had a better understanding later that it is your duty to do this. You
Mm,
cannot, you can rely, but you must not depend. And
mm,
a situation of reliance means a situation where you are you are something happened is unusual. Then because your money is 1 million man,
mm,
you know. So it is just what it is. You understand? So
mm,
you cannot, as a man, you must you must allow your man to do what he needs to do. Even if it's the case of there are sometimes you know that you kind of look, can I borrow for you? Even if it's your money, you can look for a friend of his that's close to him. This is the situation, oh, da, 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 but I don't want because the truth is a man's ego get bruised. He might feel comfortable with it, but you can look for his friends that say, please, I'm giving you this money in trust. Help me give my husband, support him for so and so, so and so, and all that. And the friend was not telling that it was through you.
mm,
Somehow, when it's time, any responsible man will know that, Omo, I need to, he will pay back. Later, you cannot reveal. A man would cherish you more, and you let him understand why you did what you did. Because you don't want to play his role. You don't want him. And trust me, any good man would see you as someone that understands a role properly. You understand? So as a woman, a lot of the mistake happens a lot where you overstep your role,
mm.
taking his love. A man will resent you for it, and that's just a fact. So, so that's just it.
Ah, this is deep. Thank you so much, sir. Please, more questions, more questions. Um, but I want to ask another question based on the point you just finished making. You know, what happens with when the man, the husband, the father, is the kind of person that is not moved in the sense that he will say he cannot kill himself. I can't kill myself. So if this is what I do, and then you yourself, as a woman, at the end of the day, you find out that this need keeps lagging, and if it is quote and unquote a matter of life and death, you now decide to, in order for things not to spoil, as we say in our local parlance, you step up and then you save the day. Are you saying that even in such situation, a woman should not save the day? Is that what you're saying, sir?
Like I've explained,
Mm,
reliance is different from dependency. Such situations should not be a consistent situation.
mm,
It should not be something that you are used to. Then it becomes a model where every time you have to say, you understand?
mhm,
If, for example, it goes to parents
mm,
and this man is going, if he likes, let the landlord come and pursue everybody. It's your burden to carry. That's why I went back to the foundation from the
mm,
beginning.
mm.
As a woman, what kind of man are you choosing? As a woman, what kind of discussions did you have? What are the reasons that made you marry this person? Those things, those questions are as important as your present or future situation. So once you miss it, you have to carry your cross. And if you are tired of carrying your cross, you have to do what you need to do. But it must be in a situation for you to say, okay, you still want to, but in a situation where you know that the man is trying his best. You can see the efforts, you can see the moves, you can see how it has
Hello, sir.
just worked out.
Hmm.
And you know that it's a matter of time before uh, things become better off. Do you understand?
Yes.
So it's a different situation. It's a different situation. Probably when maybe when you started, the man was always he does what he's supposed to do. You don't have to remind him. He's he does he plays his role. But if in a situation where you have not even experienced this man ever playing his role
Hmm.
diligently, then there's a problem. There's a problem. Then it means that you have not married for the right reasons. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. You must, as a woman, go to the foundation, the basics. There are things that you must have. There are things that you must look out for in a man before you say I do. And it's not even about what he currently has. It should be mostly about where he's headed to. And you will know where he's headed to from the foundation. So that's it.
Hmm. Hmm. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I'm not seeing questions. Our audience, I'm the only one asking these questions, and it's QS John. Thank you so much for doing justice to it, and it's it's a wow. It's more like a revelation. It's really deep. One thing that caught my attention is that a man would resent you for taking up his role. That a man would resent you. And thank you for taking us back to the fact that we need to go back to the foundation of that relationship. Now, let me take the question to in a different perspective. Um, do men do men feel burdened? Do men feel burdened by financial responsibilities? And if they do, how best can they communicate it to an over demanding wife and even children? Do men feel overburdened by, so sorry. So do men feel overburdened by financial responsibilities, and how best can they, communicate it to their wife and get healthy in that state?
The truth is, men can be overburdened. It's normal at times to be overburdened, especially if there are things that you want to do that you opt to be doing for your family at a particular point in time, and you are not able to do them. It's something that you can feel overburdened with. You understand?
Yeah.
However, how do you communicate to your spouse? Which is why, see, choosing a partner is the most important task. you have to do on earth is more important than the amount of money you make in life. Transparency is a very, 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 very important aspect. When you choose your own and there's transparency, trust me, no woman, no reasonable woman, let me not say no woman, because there are unreasonable women too, as much as there are reasonable men. No reasonable woman would look at you and be like, I know this man is only 100 naira, and I'm asking you him for something of 900 naira. It's not possible. You understand? So at the end of the day, it's important when there's transparency and the woman understands this. There are times when the woman, without even saying much, the man understands that maybe there's this thing you already planned out, or this deal or whatever. When it comes, I don't know how to do. And suddenly the thing does not happen. As a woman, you know that this man lives for the family, he does whatever he needs to do, and you are in a position to make his life easy. It can be that, you know what, this month, my darling, don't bother about, you don't even ask him for upkeep or whatever for that month. You go, okay, I will take care of this, or I will take care of that, you know. So that way you can shed off some of those burdens. That is not you overstepping now. That is you being a support system. That is you, because that is you playing your role as God has destined you to play it. You understand?
Mhm.
So it can be normal for a man, probably a man that really cares about his family or his role as a man. It can be overburdened. It's normal. But like I said, the task of choosing your life partner is as important as your life as life itself.
Mm.
And when you have your own, it's easier to transparent, it's easier to be open, it's easier to communicate. So that's it.
Mm. Oh my goodness, I am. This night is the discussion. This night is it's. I want to ask, how do you balance? How do you balance being a provider with protecting your own mental and emotional well-being? How do you balance between your being a provider with protecting your own mental and emotional well-being?
Well, this is it. As a man, it's important that you have a balance, family life balance and social life balance. There must be something that you do out of the whole family dynamics.
Mm.
There must be something you get, other things you get involved in that distracts you from the whole family system. As a man, I don't believe in you. Uh, Everything, family, 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 family. You're gonna get born at some point. You understand? There should be something that distracts you. It could be a social club. You understand? You join where you do something separate from your family. It could be an habit. Like for example, me, I do karaoke a lot. At times, I'll just go for my karaoke. I love to sing, so I'll just go to be with some friends. So like, of course, I take family too, but go with some friends where you sing and you just, or you should have something that is different from your family. That's how you balance it.
Mm.
You should not. It's
Mm.
not about you, family, family, family. But no, if you want to live long,
Mm.
you must have something separate that excites you. I'm not saying you going out of line. Or that other things like activities, maybe joining whatever. But you should have a social something different from family, 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 family. So
Mm.
it's easy for you to, you know, balance it so that by the time you being a black provider status, you are doing your part, you are also doing something for you. The life of a man is being for everybody, being the guy, the shield, the protector, do everything. But you should also shield yourself for your own mental health. There are things that you should do for you. Which is what I said, you should have activities that are different from family. That can help you balance your mental health. So that's it.
Mm. Thank you so much, sir. So we since I'm not getting questions from and we're practically running out of time, I have two more questions for you, sir. And this next question is what pressure do men face today regarding money, status, and success? What pressures do men face today regarding money, status, and success? What pressure do men face today? We want to understand as a woman. Women.
Ah, well, when it comes to pressure or status, are you saying as it concerns the family dynamics or as it concerns society as a whole?
As it concerns society, the whole, because everything falls back to on the family.
Okay, you know, the truth is that the, something becomes pressure when you pay attention to it.
Mm,
That's when some things become like pressure. Because the truth is, at the end of the day, you must have your own goal, your own vision.
mm,
You must have things that you're set out to do, regardless of whatever society you are
mm,
seeing in society. Because the truth is, you see a lot of people, you can see some families, it looks like they are boiling, they are doing this and all that.
mm,
Trust me, if you allow that eh,
mm,
to to see yourself or as not a, someone that fits in, you understand? For example, you are that family that you leave your children, in terms of their education, to make sure that they are going to good schools, they are doing whatever they need to do. And you see another man that it's about showing off and all that, doing
mm,
whatever it is. And you are trying to allow yourself get distracted by you that know that or you see another man every weekend is always boiling and out, family and all that. But then you get pressured by oh, I should be doing that to my family too. Or whatever. And you as a man, just have to you just have to understand your position in life and understand your long-term goals in life and cut your clothes according to your size. You understand?
mm,
So like I said, the pressure is there. It's all over social media. A lot of fake, whatever. See people coming. Uh, Somebody gifting. The other day, I watched a video where somebody said the boyfriend, the father gave her a car and kind of boyfriend planned that it should be like his own giving her that car and all that. So those are kind of things. It happens a lot of make believe and all that. So in society, the the most important status you should have is that status that I take care of my family. My family is not lacking in the basic things. My family is
mm,
I they are not lacking anything. Or is there something that they've not eaten?
mm,
There's some families where ordinary pizza, I don't even know what it looks like. I don't want to call pizza ordinary, but I'm just saying that you just you just do yourself, do whatever you need to do. To ensure that your family they are not used to not being used to some of the good things of life. So
mm,
once in a while you go out, we're not sleeping home today. Let's go on a small. Once in a while you planning, you do those things. And I'm not, oh, they've not flown before. Plan it. You know what? We're flying to so state. Even it's not outside the country. Plan. It's planning. It's about being conscious of this thing this year. These are my children must get used to it. That is the fulfillment. That is the greatest fulfillment that you need. You understand? Regardless of whatever status, whatever it is, that is the greatest fulfillment. Knowing that nobody can use Indomie and egg to shift my daughter's pants now. If
mm,
you want a plan to be shifted, is
mm,
feelings. Nobody can use an ice cream or a cinema date to say, let me take her to cinema. She has not seen something like
mm,
that before. Or a
mm,
fancy restaurant. She has not seen. So your greatest achievement or greatest whatever is no sitting down and telling yourself that my family is not lacking. I'm not saying
mm,
rich or anything. Just that's
mm,
the greatest pledge. So whatever society is, whatever it is, it's inconsequential. So that's how I
mm,
see things, and that's how I
mm.
do things.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I don't know how, I think there's issue with network, but this discussion this night is so loaded. This topic is not something that we can exhaust. But really, I want to say big thank you for, the aspects you took it from. It's very deep. Now, on a final note, I want to have is one question, but I want to make it A and B. Now, question A: how can a man buy his wife over to support him? How can a man buy his, okay, sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, it's been a really wonderful network this night. But I don't know. Please, let's drop. If you can hear me, please kindly drop a yes. I can hear you message for me, please. I think the network has been very funny. Uh, um, QS, please, if you can hear me, kindly send me an invite again. Let's just wrap up this question because this last question is very, very important that we conclude tonight's discussion with it, please, sir. Please, if we have enjoyed tonight's discussion, please let me just see. Uh, tonight's discussion just got me thinking, and I'm just when you have seen the mistakes you have made yourself, you as a woman, the mistakes you have made because you lacked understanding, and you are seeing mistakes you have made, you're just there's something they say in Nigeria, say, I just weak I just weak and I don't know if the same thing is happening to the women who are on this live this night. Olabisi Rachel said the network is bad. Yes, ma. I think I realized that the network is very bad at your end. Thank you so much. So the question I wanted to ask um, QS John is how can you buy your wife over to support you and relieve you of financial imbalance slash stress in a marriage situation, in a marriage relationship, and also to ask him what advice would he give younger men about building wealth without losing balance in family and health. QS John, I don't know if you are still with us. If you are still with us, please, how can you as a man, because the economy we have now globally is not the one that a man will now put all the responsibility on himself. I do not support that. However, there should be, I even believe that it should even be 80-20, even if it's the 20 that the woman is doing, but that she's supporting, because things are not that the economy is not that easy or rosy for one person to be the sole carrier of the finance in the home. It's really important, and most especially to women who are entitled, children who are entitled, women who wants the man to do everything. Thank you, sir. Welcome back. I think the network. So the questions I had, the last question I have, I said is in two parts. The second one, the first one, A, is that how can a man buy his wife over, and you have a structure, because the economy in these times is not easy for one to even just leave it and say, okay, my wife will step in when when I don't feel like, or when I'm not able to. I believe that there's a structure in place that you both run. It makes resentments, it takes out resentment or any frustration. So how can a man buy his wife over, even though for me, a woman shouldn't really be bought over, but it should be an agreement. How can you know for them to run a healthy and balanced financial, relationship in a marriage? That's number one. Then secondly, what advice would you give younger men about building wealth without losing balance in family and health? I don't know if you heard me, sir.
Okay, in terms of buying over, well, communication is very key. Communication is very, 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 very key. And like I've always been emphatic, finding your own is the most important thing you can ever do in your life. Once there is transparency and once there is communication, you don't even, and if as a man you have you have established a known a known status in the house that you put your family first, your wife, your children knows that this is their father or this is the husband who always put them first. And the woman is reasonable enough to be grateful for the role that the man is playing. It becomes very easy. You don't even have to buy anybody over.
Mm,
It becomes seamless. Especially when there is communication, it becomes very seamless. Woman just steps in, she knows what she needs to do. She just understands that no, I think I need to step in at this point. I need to support this man and all that, you know. So because the less burden the man is, the more beautiful relationship or marriage you can have. You understand? And of course, it can also give a man the ample opportunity to channel his energy into other productive things. There's a way a woman would, as a good man, or not all men,
mm,
some men are very disgraceful, to be sincere.
mm,
There's a way a woman would do things. It becomes, you know, when it has been established in your, like someone, like I watched the video where you don't come into a marriage with 50 mentality. You come into a
mm,
marriage with 100%, giving your 100% on both ends. Nothing like 50-50. What it means is that the only competition that should be in your house is a competition on how to love the other person better. You understand? That's the only competition. When those kind of things are established in the home, so as you are doing, even in terms of gifts, you give your wife this. Next thing, very well, those people are working on earning. The next thing she's thinking of who can gift better, who can do this one better. It just becomes easy when you have your own. Let me just put it
mm,
that way. So, and as for a young man, financially, whatever, it's for any young man. There's there are two things I would advise. One, before you marry, find yourself. Be conscious of how your long-term goals in terms of your finance. Start investing from as early as possible. There are stocks you can buy, even if it's 20,000 naira, even if it's 10,000 naira. There are mutual funds that you can do. That saving, whatever, where you give yourself targets. Okay, you know what, every month for my earnings, I want to be doing this, I want to be doing that, At the end of the day, you must have that mentality of building wealth even before you get married because it gets tougher and it
mm,
also gets easier. But what makes it easier are those pushing effects or those mentalities, those habits that you have built over time. That's what makes it better, even though it's tougher. but it can also get better. So where you have friends every day you go to club or you all those things and all that. No, 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 no. You must insist on that. And when you're in a relationship, even before marriage or whatever, and you have a woman that sees she's already a burden to you. For example, a woman that you have to give transportation before she come and see you, to come and see you. A woman that believes that she she comes, no matter how small, no matter how big, you can okay, even with food stuff. When she comes to your house, she buys food stuff. She comes. You will know from early days. You will know.
Mm.
Especially if it's not a woman, you know that is of that has gone to how would I put it marriageable age. She don't dey take for house. You know, women like that know how to pretend. And when they those things that they've not done from beginning, they start doing it to get the attention. But I'm talking about situations where young person, you're also you're a person of your own whatever, and person at that age you understand that you are not responsible for giving her money for her, but she knows you are not earning that much at that time, and she understand that even if you do it, will be something that you just do out of the blue of so, okay, you know what? You see a
Mm.
lot of young guys now, they're already putting women on monthly upkeep. For you that they are still keeping, those things, you know.
Mm.
So you see those things. So as a young person, you have to be focused, and
Mm.
it all boils down to your association. It
Mm.
all boils down to association. It boils down to the kind of people you keep as friends, you know.
Mm.
And there are people that I've seen people that me I've made that mistake, but I don't really have friends like that. And of course, the environment too is a factor. But
Mm.
however, there are people that from your 20s you can have good, cool-headed friends from university
Mm.
days or whatever days that you can come together and say, you know what can we do together? It can be a land, you people can start contributing money that this year we're going to buy this land somewhere, we keep it as
Mm.
friends. By the time you are of age, that land would have appreciated. Like I've seen some people that there was the time they were selling the land, was it OP? How much 10 million then? The friends came together and said, let's buy this land. Let's come together and buy this one plot
Mm.
or two plots. Let's donate. We might not be able to do it on your own. But when you have association that these are the kind of things you discuss, not to go and follow women or to go and drink or to go and club.
Mm.
You know, at the end of the day, you do all those things. And that land, after how many years, those lands now are worth close to 100 million. Imagine, though that time they came together, they agreed. Though, it was when they told their wives were like, no, the fact that they will build something on it. No, we'll now all be together. We'll now, whatever. They told their wives, women now, at the end of the day, they could not achieve that thing.
Mm.
But imagine if they bought that land then,
Mm.
even if they are not building together, if they sell off that place, imagine what the future would look like. Somewhere that was like
Mm.
10 million or whatever then. Now it's well, hundreds. So you must start keeping such association as a young person. People of
Mm.
like minds, people that understand that the future is very important to work towards it. So that's my advice, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This your advice is really worth following. Hold on, seeing the fact that you yourself married at a very young age. So you are very well versed. You practically built yourself, in marriage, and I want to say a big thank you to you. See, I'm just, as they would say in Nigeria, I just weak. We talk a lot. You're a very good friend of mine. Aside the fact that you're my colleague, and when this topic came up, I just told myself, I said, there's no better person who will discuss about this honestly and truthfully, practically, without sugar coating or being all theoretical about it, but you. And I want to say a big thank you to you. Thank you for the gift of your friendship. thank you for taking out time to do this. I do not take it for granted. And I want to believe that everyone, this, if you check the comment section, I'm just seeing two talks, sir. Thank you, sir. You know, everyone is really, everyone has taken home something from this discussion this night. And thank you so much. I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Please keep your door open for us. Keep your door open. Keep your door open. And apologies. Well, thank God I had to delete that first live this thing, because I was late outside. But thank you so much, QS John. I want to appreciate everyone who stayed behind. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your consistency. Thank you for your support. Until we come your way next week, Saturday again, I want to say stay blessed. Thank you so much, QS.
I it's a privilege